Hello everybody. Well, I'm back in the shed again. We're getting some much needed rain, so we did get about 40 acres of hay put up, so that was alright. Well, John Kerry and that bunch is at it again. France ain't gonna let Ireland outdo them, so now they're gonna kill 200,000 head of cattle. My. They're absolutely trying to destroy our food in this country. And you know, people, it's up to us to put a stop to this stuff. We can't allow this. When they try to bring this junk here in the United States, we need to stop it. That's Bill Gates buying up all this farmland, wanting people to eat synthetic meat and veggie, whatever, synthetic vegetables. I mean, we need to stand up and put a stop to it. It's up to us. We sit down and we've let these people go too far, especially these so-called elected officials we've got up there in Washington. You know, when you go vote these people in, you get what you get. The old saying is, you get what you pay for. And you know, we're going to have to stand up, and take our country back. This is crazy stuff. I guess a lot of it too is fulfilling the Bible. That's a lot of it, but you know, there's I know some things in the Bible, but a lot of it I don't understand. That's why if y'all ain't checked him out, Greg Goes 55, he reads out of the Bible every Saturday night. I enjoy that. I mean, a lot of stuff in the Bible to me contradicts itself, and I don't understand a lot of it, but there comes in that faith, ain't it? We gotta have faith. So, you know, Jesus said if you had faith as small as a mustard seed, you could move mountains, and I believe that. But we've got a lot of work to do to get back to what Biden's destroyed in 3 years that he's been there. Look what our country's become. You've got school boards turning on parents and this curriculum that they're trying to have, teaching 6 to 5-year-olds, kindergartners. I mean, people, this country is turning into Sodom and Gomorrah. We're going to have to stop this. We're going to have to get up and vote these people out of office and hold the politicians' feet to the fire and make them abide by the Constitution. You know, that's just like New York on Trump, the statute of limitations run out. What they do? They change the law just so they can prosecute. We can't let this stuff happen. Either whether you like Trump or not, or whether you're a Democrat, libertarian, or a Democrat. This is wrong. That's not what our country was founded on. You don't put your political enemies in prison unless you're in old Russia. This is Russia tactics. You know, if you can't beat your opponent, you just put them in prison or you get rid of them. If you get my man. I mean, they've done everything else to the man, so they ain't got but one option left, ain't it? I mean, my goodness, how did we get this? How did we get this way? You know, I know I'm talking fast, so I talk fast sometimes when I'm mad. And all that stuff, it'll make you mad. You know, I watch quite a few people on there, I told you, like in prepping channels, Pinball Preparedness, and a lot of them. And of course, Radio 65, Waterbug, and I watch Donald Westman on Facebook, and the two dumbass farmers or American farmers. I like them pretty well. You know, we're going to stick together, all of us, you know. Uh, and Mark Hatfield, he says what is on his mind, and that's the way it should be. You know, you think about the censoring on these social media networks, or sort of on the conservative side, you think about it. You know, I understood the other day, a guy told me that on this Instagram stuff that you can look up this Pepinilla stuff, but you take somebody like Mark Hatfield gets on there and gives his viewpoint and what he believes in, they censor that. They say it's, or whatever they call it. I mean, they call it disinformation if it's the truth. We live in a different world, and it's communist. I mean, it's communist tactics, Nazi tactics. I mean, it's all, like I said the other day, they combine it all into one form, shape, or another. And they're trying to make communism to the young people seem normal. And that's one reason that they're going after the food. It's control. It's control. They want to control us. And people like me, I don't know how they're going to get by with it, but if somebody come in here and told me I was going to kill my cattle, well, I guess they'd kill me too, because I'm not going to let that happen, as long as I've got breath in my body. You know, we've got a constitution in this country, and that's all wrong. Where's all animal activists and all these that to fight for the little doggies and the kittens and animals? You know, you don't hear nothing out of them about them windmills are killing them whales out of New York. You don't hear a peep at them when they're going to kill all these cattle. Where are they at? Yeah, they're quiet, ain't they? It don't fit their agenda. Or they're getting paid off, their organization. Most of the things anymore is money and power. You know, people like us, the regular folks, as long as they get your vote and your tax money, they can give a flying shit about us. I mean, it's plain to see on some of the laws that they're trying to pass. They want to squeeze every single dime out of us. They want you to go into them 15-minute cities, they're calling them now. You'll have nothing, and you'll love it. That's what Klaus Schwab says. He's a Nazi. That thing's a Nazi. And you know what? They said that, I hear today that all these countries had signed on with the UN to reduce all this global climate change, whatever you want to call it. The UN's got no power over us. They have no power over us whatsoever. We can't, we weren't supposed to stop this, people. Or our kids, the next generation coming up, are going to be like little robots. They ain't going to have no life. They're going to live like they do in China. You'll be told when to get up, what to eat, when to go to work, when to come home, when to go to bed. People had better wake up in this country. I mean, we're headed down a bad road. You know, where you like Trump or not. I mean, I sort of did like DeSantis, but I can't vote for him. The more I find that he ain't nothing but a closet rhino. Just look at the people that's backed him. They're neocons. They love war. It's about money to them. They're a bunch of rhinos too. Them neocons are rhinos. They're for the filthy rich. But you know, the way I see it, Trump deserves his 4 more years. And if he had 10 years, he can't straighten out what Biden has done in 3. There'll have to be somebody to come in behind Trump if he's lucky enough to win, which I think he will. If they don't pull some shenanigans and cheat the American people out of the right to vote either for or against. It's not their place to try to put him in jail to keep the American people from having a chance to vote. That's not what our country was founded on. It's not what we're about. But they're turning our country into a communist. We're becoming a communist country. We can't let it happen. We have got to get up and vote. We've got to fight like nobody's business for this election. We have got to get out. We've got to do things. You know, we've got to support the conservative candidates, constitutional people that believe in the Constitution and what our country was founded on. If they don't, blow them off. Just because they give you a feel-good message, it makes it sound good, we've got to do our research. We got to do our research. We can't allow these good, feel-good speeches to sway your vote. We've got to research. We've got to research our candidates. We've got to have true conservatives and the people that actually believe in the Constitution. And you believe it or not, there's a few old Democrats who've seen the light and believe the same way. So we may have a chance this time to halt some of this stuff, that we can straighten it up. But I'm telling you, this is, you know, they say every election, this is the most important election that you'll have. Well, this one is true. This is going to be the most important election in our lifetime, and in the history of our country, really, if you think about it. But, you know, there's hope. I see hope if we just pray about it, trust in the Lord, and do our research. You know, we're supposed to pray about things. God just not going to magically come down and hand that to you. You've got to get up. He gives you the ability to get up and work for it. He gives you a free spirit, you know. You can choose His way or you can choose evil. You know, that's His gift, free will. So we need to really step up this time and really get behind, in my opinion, President Trump. But you know, anything would beat Joe Biden and them Democrats. I mean, but I can't vote for DeSantis. I can't, and surely I'm not voting for Mike Pence. I wouldn't vote for him for dog catcher. Tim Scott, he's all right. He makes good vice president. I like him pretty good. I really do. He seems like a real good man. And what I read up on him, he's pretty good. But you know, the rest of them, nah. Got Chris Christie. He ain't done nothing. He's crooked too. He's crooked. He ain't nothing. Chris Christie ain't nothing. So that's the choices we've got. And John F. Kennedy Jr., he'd be the bad worse. He'd be horrible for this country. We can't go backwards, people. We can't let these people, all this crazy stuff, we can't let this happen. We just can't. I mean, I'm really worried about this country. You know, used to, you know, you'd hear this stuff on the news and you'd think, you know, some of this stuff, what's going on today has come to pass. You'd think, well, that ain't no way that could happen in this country, and then here it is. It's actually a happening. You know, people actually turn, I mean, it just, you can't make a lot of it up. You know, I was reading where they was having a protest somewhere or another, and a guy was reading from the Bible. You know who got arrested? The guy was reading from the Bible. I mean, that's only happens in third world countries. You know, Well, there's a war on Christians, there's a war on farmers. I mean, we're going to stand up. We're going to put a stop to this stuff. I mean, we can't let them mess with our food system. We cannot. Now think about it, they're going to kill, both countries are going to kill 400,000 head of cattle. You look at the people that would feed in some of these countries that are starving. I mean, people are all right with that. I mean, we just need to wake up and get it. You get up off our feet, do our research, and some of these senators and Congress is coming up for re-election. We need to boot them rhinos out there and put true constitutional conservatives back in those positions that abide by the Constitution and vote that way for the people. That's about all I've got to say. Thank everybody for watching. I'm going to see if I can end this video, if I can, or we may have a blooper number 3.